Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, today's video is an eyeshadow palette collection and declutter. So as some of you would know, I've been getting a lot of palettes over the last couple months for my birthday, but I have also been decluttering a lot. Unfortunately for me, I didn't film any of that decluttering process because I just really, thought about getting rid of them. I then, put them online and sold them and sent them straight away. But today, we're going to be going through each and every one of my palettes. I really want you guys to be able to see what I have in my collection so that if you do want a video on it, you can let me know. And we're also going to be decluttering some palettes. I'm in need of a serious clear out, so hopefully we can get rid of maybe a quarter of my collection, maybe half if we're ambitious. But obviously all of these beautiful high-end babies will not be going anywhere. If you want to see more decluttering videos, then give this one a thumbs up and let me know down below. And if you like this style of video where I just come on and go straight on into things and show you all the palettes and not my face, I will not be offended. Let me know down below in the comments as well. So without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so the first palette I have to talk about is the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. So this is what this one looks like. It is a really bright, colourful palette. You have mostly mattes and 3 shimmers. If you see my hands shaking, don't worry about it. I'm an anxious person and my hands constantly shake. That's why. This blue shimmer is really stunning, but mostly I love this palette for the coral shade and the yellow shade. I think they are absolutely amazing. This palette is 48 Australian dollars, I believe. Do I think it's worth 48 Australian dollars? No, it's literally like the size of my palm. But yeah, as a little mini travel palette, I love it, and I'm always constantly picking this one up to use the mirror because it's just like the perfect size. So I think they're really handy, and if you had a neutral palette, you would definitely use it every day and get more use out of it. Next, I have the what's this one called? The Love, Trust and Fairy Dust eyeshadow palette. Yeah, this packaging speaks for itself, to be honest. This is like a really weighted, heavy palette. I'm just trying to open it. This is what it looks like on the inside. It is absolutely stunning. You have 3 cool tone mattes on this side and 3 more, I guess, warm neutral mattes on this side, and then you have 5 shimmers, 1 in the middle. I did think the one in the middle was a highlighter, but it is a very like glittery shade to use as a highlighter. This shade here is absolutely stunning. It is like a duochrome pink shade. This palette is beautiful. It's the same amazing formula that Tarte has in all their other palettes. It smells divine. And it is a really just luxurious palette that I love to pick up and use. Next is this palette here. This is the Gosh palette in Cool to Be in Copenhagen. This is a 9 shade palette. They're all mattes and it is all cool tone. This is the only cool tone palette I have in my collection. My partner actually picked this one up for me, and the formula of it is honestly the best formula I've ever tried in my life for mattes. But I don't use cool tone shades, so I rarely pick this one up, which is a shame because the formula is absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna try and get really into smoky eyes. I don't wear cool tones and I don't wear dark colors very often. If I'm gonna wear makeup, I'm gonna wear like shimmery shadows and bright colors and stuff like that. So I am gonna keep this just in case clients want cool tone looks, but yeah. The next is the LA Girl Neons palette, which looks like this. This is a nice palette, but I do have a lot of colorful palettes in my collection, so I am going to declutter this one. This is our first decluttered palette. Next, I have the Too Faced Life's a Festival palette. This is an absolutely stunning palette. The packaging is beautiful. I don't dip into this one too much, which is a shame, and I really have to dip into it more. There isn't very many mattes. I think there's 2 mattes and then a satin shade, but I can't create a full look with this, so if I want to dip into it, I have to dip into it for a shimmer shade, and I just honestly forget that I have it because there's a lot of palettes that have mattes and shimmers that I can create a full look with. So I do really, really love this palette. It's an amazing formula, just like the rest of Too Faced palettes. But yeah, it is hard to remember that I have this one. Next is my ColourPop palettes. I'm just going to quickly run through these. I have the Dream Street palette. This isn't the same formula, I believe, as all the other palettes that I have. I use this one the least. I had trouble with these reds and the navy color. The shimmer shades are beautiful in this, but I do not believe that it is the same formula as the other ones, so I do use this one the least. This is the I Think I Love You palette. This is an absolutely beautiful palette. It is more on the neutral cool side, and you can do a beautiful smoky eye with this gold and the black here. Also, this bronze shade is to die for. I really, really like this palette. ColourPop is one of my favorite formulas at a really, really affordable price. This is the My Little Pony palette. I'm not sure if you can still get this one, but it is a very wearable, colorful palette, if that makes sense. And if you're just starting out in color, I would definitely recommend picking this one up. Also, the packaging is really, really cute. This is the Yes Please palette. This is my most used ColourPop palette. It is really, really dirty, and yeah, the white packaging is a no, but the colors in here are amazing. If you like warm tones on more of the orangey, slightly coral spectrum, this is the one for you. Then I have the 2017 Christmas palette, All I See Is Magic. This is nice. My favorite shade in the palette is this really, really glittery shimmer shade, but I don't use this one as much just because my favorite palettes are these three. I haven't done a ColourPop order in so long. They've released so many palettes since these, and this is my favorite formula, so I definitely hope that I can pick up some more ColourPop palettes soon. Next is this palette by Beauty Glazed. This is the purple palette. I am getting rid of this one. I haven't used it since I bought it. It's really pretty, but the formula is a bit hit or miss, and I literally just purchased the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Vault collection, which has a purple palette in it. So yeah, that will hopefully substitute my needs for purple, and I don't have to keep this one in my collection any longer. Next is the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice Palettes. This was a very hefty price point, but it is absolutely stunning. The formula is really, really nice. I haven't had a chance to play with it too much because I've just had a lot of new things come into my collection lately, but the mattes in here are really, really nice. The shimmers are really nice, and I absolutely love the looks that I've created with it so far. Yeah, I really, really recommend this one if you are a neutral person, you love gold shimmers, and you want a pop of blue. In terms of the name Moroccan Spice, do I think the name fits the palette? Not at all. I don't understand why it's called that. You know, you have the purple on the front. I don't really get it, but her packaging is amazing, her formula is amazing, and I'm really happy that I picked this one up. Next, I have the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. This palette is honestly one of my favorites at the moment. The formula in here is amazing. Sorry, I'm blinding you. You've got 4 mattes, and then the rest are shimmers. I love the Dripping Diamond shade. It is absolutely stunning. The Rich Girl shade up the top here is amazing. I'll just swatch some shades for you. Also, if you see me in the mirror, like, don't scream, it's okay. I literally just got out of bed to film this video. It's really early in the morning. I don't have any makeup on, but as you can see, these shades are amazing. I really, really love this palette, and I will never get rid of it. Next is this Sleek Makeup Eye Divine Ultra Matte V1 palette, if I can open it. This is a really nice and matte, bright palette. I love it. I do forget that I have it sometimes just because the inside's so bright, but the packaging is so boring. And yeah, but I do really love this palette. I think it's really good quality, and if you're looking for a matte, bright palette that you can find at the drugstore, I would definitely recommend checking Sleek out. This one from BYS I am going to get rid of. This is their little neon, it's not a quad because it's 5, but I don't really know what to call it. It's just their little palette. They used to have a like tin palette called Neon, and that was really amazing, and they discontinued it sadly, and I do not know what I did with it. But this one just isn't there. If you swatch it, like barely any pigment comes off, and I don't use it at all, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. Another one I'm getting rid of is the Revolution Pro Supreme eyeshadow in Intoxicate. I just don't use little mini palettes like this one. I have other Revolution shadows that I like more, that have a more diverse color range, and yeah, I just would rather use those, so I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. Another palette that I am keeping is the I Heart Revolution Mermaid's Heart. This palette is absolutely beautiful. It's got those blue colors that everyone is dying over lately, and you can create a really amazing look with this palette, especially these two shades here. Like, they are absolutely beautiful, and I'm definitely hanging on to that one. Next palette is the Revolution Pro Renegation, what is it? Renegation Trends Mischief Matte. This is a colourful matte palette. It is absolutely amazing, and if you're in the market for one, I would definitely recommend either the Sleek or this one at an affordable price point. I then have the NYX Love You So Mochi palette, or Mochi, whatever you want to say. I was dying to get my hands on this palette, and it is totally worth it. The shimmer shades in here are amazing. It is an all shimmer palette, so don't expect to use it that much, because unless you want to create your look with all shimmers, but it is a very good accent palette. Next is the Australis Kaleidoscope palette. This is a really good colourful palette at a really affordable price. I absolutely love it, and again, if you're looking for a colourful palette, I definitely recommend this one. You can still get it at some places I have seen, but they're always out of stock, because obviously, you know, you can purchase this at a drugstore, and it is an amazing palette to just walk into a drugstore and purchase. So from Australis, this is also cruelty free, and I absolutely love all of these palettes. The last one for this little pile that I've got here is the Revolution Life on the Dance Floor in Sparklers. This is what this one looks like. It is colourful, but there isn't a wide variety of what you can do in here. You have a matte sort of green, a matte forest green, a matte pink, a matte purple. You have this blue down the bottom here that is matte with glitter in it. Then you have a row of neutral sort of shimmers, two neutral mattes. This shimmer lime green and shimmer silver are amazing. This palette isn't very diverse, so I do not dip into it that often, because there's not a lot that you can do with it, but it is a nice bright palette. I then have my Jeffree Star palettes. I have the Beauty Killer palette, which I've talked about a lot on my channel. I have the Thirsty palette, which I've done a full video on, and I also have the Blood Sugar palette as well, which I'm sure you guys know what it looks like. It's my only beef with this is it's quite hard to open, but this is what the Blood Sugar palette looks like. This is probably my favorite out of the three, to be honest. I absolutely love it. Yeah, but I love Jeffree, and I'm keeping those for sure. Another palette that I'll get rid of is the Sports Girl Eye Shaded Burgundy palette. I just have a lot of warm tones in my collection. As you saw, the Blood Sugar palette could easily dupe most of these shades. You know, just a lot of stuff. That Moroccan Spice palette could dupe these shades. Like, they're very dupeable, and I don't need it in my collection anymore. Same with this Sports Girl Duochrome palette. This is an all shimmer palette of duochrome shades. It is beautiful, but usually I just use the shimmers inside the palette that I'm using, and if I want a really intense inner corner highlight, I usually just dip into this Sports Girl single highlighter for the face in, I don't know what it's in, but it's just like a duochrome white, so I don't really need this whole palette because I have that little highlighter and it just takes up less space. So I will be getting rid of those two as well. I then have the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. I honestly am going to be 100% honest. I could get rid of this and not really notice. I don't use it that much. There's not enough mattes in here or diversity in here. Like, well, there is diversity, but there's not enough cohesion in here for me to use it. I do really like this orange shade and this lime green shade. I don't feel like the formula of this is the same as the Urban Decay Back Talk palette. If I can just sit that there. This is the Urban Decay Back Talk palette. It has blushes on one side and eyeshadows on this side. And this palette is actually one of my favorites since I got it in June, I think, or April. I think I got this in June. And yeah, since then, it's been one of my absolute go-to palettes. I love it a lot. It's beautiful. So I don't feel like the formula of the mattes is the same in this Kaleidoscope palette. I really need to get more use out of it. There's just not enough cohesion for me, but I should try and bring it to the forefront of my collection and use it as an accent palette along with some other matte shades to get some use out of it because it is really, really beautiful. I then have two palettes by Juvia's. I've talked about them a lot lately. This is the Zulu palette, and then I have the Deuce palette as well, if I can open it, which looks like this. I have a full video on this palette up on my channel already, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but they are staying over there. Next, I have the Gigi Hadid little eye contour palette. I wanted this really bad for ages, and even after I purchased the Blood Sugar palette, you know, the Luna Beauty palette, the Morphe palette, I still wanted this and I went and bought it, and I'm really happy I did. It is the tiniest palette I've ever seen. It fits in my hand. It would be perfect for traveling, perfect to sit in your bag, and it's perfect for just a super quick look in the mornings before work. You don't even have to think about it. Everything's here, and it's like the perfect eye contour palette just to make your eyes look like they have a little bit of definition without looking like you're wearing any eyeshadow. So I definitely love this one. This is the Catrice Ultimate Chrome palette. This is absolutely amazing in terms of shimmer shades. Like, they are beautiful and buttery and just absolutely metallic. I'm definitely holding on to that one. Then I have the Revolution Reloaded Iconic Division. Obviously, this is a dupe of the Subculture palette. I did consider purchasing the Subculture palette. I'm really happy I did because I don't use this palette at all. The color scheme in it is just really difficult for me to create looks with. And I just, yeah, I'm going to keep it, but I don't use it that much. Then I have three of the collaboration palettes from Makeup Revolution. I have the Tammy X Revolution one, which I haven't used it that much since buying it. Same with the Kami one, Kami Kiss of Fire. Again, I haven't used that much since buying it. And the Soph X one, I used a lot when I first got it and haven't used it in a really long time. So I'm going to hold on to these because I do like them. I just have a lot of other stuff, so hopefully we can make some room for them and I reach for them a little bit more than what I do now. So a very sad day has come where I've decided to get rid of my chocolate bar palettes from Makeup Revolution. So these palettes are stunning. Obviously, the packaging is beautiful. I don't know. I don't feel like the formula in these is the best. It's good for the price, don't get me wrong. And if you're just starting out in makeup, this is, you know, this is all you need. But for someone like me, I'm starting to do really intricate looks that require a lot of blending, a lot of, you know, a lot of time and effort. And these shades just muddy together, and it's not even, you know, just this palette. It's just all the chocolate bar palettes. Like, the shimmers in here don't perform how I want them to. They are beautiful palettes, and if you're just doing an everyday look, like, then these would be perfect for you. But for me, I'm starting to get into that, you know, Instagram avant-garde sort of stuff where you're just trying to be really creative and these just don't do what I want them to do. Like, for instance, they don't blend as nicely as this palette, which is the Life's a Drag palette. This is absolutely amazing quality. If you don't have this one, definitely pick it up. It's on sale on Beauty Bay right now. I'm not getting rid of it. It's my child. Same with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This is brand new to my collection. I've used it once off camera. I'm going to do a tutorial with it maybe next week. But yeah, these blend absolutely amazing, and the pigmentation is just, you know, like the colors don't muddy. And I never had that before. People that get their transition shade, you know, to be different to like their crease shade, and you can see the difference. I've never had that before because these muddy together, and yeah, they are amazing palettes, but just I've recently discovered better things, so I will be getting rid of those today. I now have the Tarte Clay Play palette, the original one. This is an amazing, mostly or all matte. This shade has like a slight shimmer to it, but it doesn't really translate on the eye at all. So basically it's an all matte palette. It's absolutely amazing. It has contour in it, smells divine, and yeah, nothing much I can say about that one. This is the Violet Voss Flamingo palette. I'm having a really hard time with this palette, to be honest. I've used it twice, and both times I've used it I was not happy. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit if I can. Zoom out. There we go. Yeah, I've used it twice. Both times I've used it, I wasn't really happy with the look that I created. I just am really struggling to put colors that go together. I watched an old video with Jen Loves Reviews and Stephanie Nicole where they talked about their top 5 palettes, and they were talking about how they don't like when makeup companies put colors in palettes that don't go together, because if you're not creative, like, you're gonna put colors that don't necessarily go together just because they're in the palette. And I know that this is a colorful palette, so obviously there's going to be colors that don't go together. But yeah, every time I've done my makeup, I've done it twice with this palette, I wasn't happy with the look that I created. So I am going to keep testing them out because I've swatched this palette and it looks amazing. And I think it's just user error in the fact that I don't know what combination of shades go together to look nice. But I am going to be keeping that because I do love the color scheme of it and I do want to test it out. I have the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. Everyone knows this palette. I'm not going to touch on it. It's really nice. It's not the best colorful formula I've ever tried, but the amount of like colors you get in here is amazing for the price, and I am going to be keeping that as well. Next I have the Day to Night eyeshadow palette by Sophie, whatever her name is. I just hit the camera. I'm going to be decluttering this one. It's by Designer Brands. The formula in it, it's not the best, so I'm going to be decluttering this one. Next is the Revolution Flawless 4 palette. This is a beautiful palette, and it used to be one of my favorites, but I do have the Blood Sugar palette now, and it has all these pinky tones, so this one just isn't going to get used, so I will be decluttering that as well. This palette from Beauty Glazed, I loved it when I used it, but it's just a neutral palette. I have neutrals in other palettes, and this could go to a better home, so I'm going to get rid of that too. And I'm getting rid of this Life on the Dance Floor Guest List palette. There's just too much of the same colors in here. Like, it all looks the same. On the eyes, it's going to look the same, and I just don't like that. So it's a really big palette. You could fit a lot of diversity in here, and most of the colors just look the same. So I'm going to be getting rid of that one as well. Next I have some BYS chunky palettes. I have the Berries palette, which I got yesterday. Again, the Berries face palette I got yesterday as well. I did use them yesterday and they're pretty good. Glisten palette, I really like this one. And then the Festival palette as well. I would definitely recommend checking these out if you want to. The packaging is really cheap, but the formula in it is pretty good. Next is the NYX Avant Pop palette. I'm going to be getting rid of this one. I don't think you can create a cohesive look with this palette, and I've had it for ages and I don't use it, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I then have the Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette. I have the Tarte Clay Play palette, so I don't need this one. I then have a couple highlight palettes from Revolution. I have the Ultra Pro Glow, which I'm going to get rid of. The Blush Dream palette, which I'm going to get rid of. And the Soph X highlight palette, which I'm going to get rid of. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighters, so I don't need them. And this highlight and contour palette by The Balm as well. It's just too dark for me, so I'm going to get rid of those as well. Then I have two palettes from Revolution. I have the Neutral Eyes palette from Revolution, which I'm going to get rid of. And the Midnight Unicorn palette, which I'm going to get rid of as well. I have the Everything's Rosy from Sports Girl palette. This is absolutely stunning, and I'm going to keep it. I don't think you can get this one anymore, so I'm not going to rub it in your face that you can't get it. I then have the Pastel Goth, which obviously I'm hanging on to. I do have a full video up on my channel using this if you want to check that out. I then have the Grease palette from Solar Look. It looks like this. This palette, you do have to use a glitter glue for the shimmers, but they're absolutely amazing, and I use this in conjunction with the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette, and I use these pinky peach shades, and my look turns out beautiful. I don't mind doing that extra step in my makeup. Doesn't really bother me, so yeah. Next, I have the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary palette. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about Kat Von D. I purchased this just before that happened, so I was a little bit mad, but this palette is an amazing formula. The quality is really good, and you know, I'm not going to get rid of it just because of her personal views. I'm not going to purchase any more Kat Von D, but I'm not going to get rid of the things that I already own by her. Next, I have the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition palette. I honestly haven't used this since I bought it. I think I used it once. Hopefully, making room in my collection, I will use it more. Zodiac palette by BH. Oh, I keep hitting the camera. This is beautiful. They are making a little sister palette to this one, and I'm really interested to see what that one will look like, but I'm hanging on to that as well. It's my Ray Ray palette. I don't use this one a lot just because I don't like the packaging, how you have to have all of it open to use the eyeshadows, because you have to sit it on your desk like with everything. But it is a nice palette, and the formula is really nice. The Glam Reflection in Gilded is a really nice warm tone palette. And then the OG Galaxy Chic, you guys know I've had this on my channel for years. Well, I haven't been on YouTube for that long, but for a long time. So then I have this palette by Bad Habit. This is the Aurora palette. I've done a video on this, and I'm pretty sure in the video that I had issues, but I was trying to make it work. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. It's a dupe for the Prism palette. I really like the color scheme, but I can't use it. The fallout in this is awful. They fluff away, they don't blend. I really love the color scheme, and I'm considering getting the Prism palette, but yeah, I'm gonna have to sit on that one for a bit because I don't know. Next, I have these two little palettes from Essence. They're good, but like I just don't use them. I have this Mauve tone one, and then I have this Bright palette, if I can get it open. I have this Bright palette. It's good, but they get lost in my collection, to be honest. Like, I just have too much stuff. Then I have the Milani Everyday Eyes. I'm going to get rid of this one. I just don't use it. It's warm tone. I have too many warm tones. And then finally, this Revolution palette. It's beautiful, but the pigment just isn't there. Like, it's just not there for me. So, yeah, I will be decluttering that one as well. And then I think we only have a couple palettes left. So these are my BYS palettes. As you can see, I have a lot of them. I don't have all of them, but I have a lot. So let's go through them quickly. Not all of them are good, but yeah. This is the Peach palette, the original one. This is absolutely bloody amazing. I love it. It doesn't have many matte shades in here, but go in with this bone color, transition, beautiful shimmer shades, and a sort of crease color to darken up the outer corner, and you've got yourself a look. Will it be a very rich, you know, rich look that has lots of depth to it? No, but a beautiful one no less. These two colors are absolutely stunning. The peach original is amazing. Peach 2 isn't as amazing. You've got more mattes here. The bottom row is all mattes, the top row is all shimmers. The mattes in here are definitely nicer, but the shimmers are not anywhere near as nice as the original. So a lot of people say to me, which one do I recommend? Peach original for shimmers, Peach 2 for mattes. That's my opinion. This is the Unicorn palette. I haven't really used this one, to be honest. The colors in here are beautiful and the shimmer shades are amazing, but the mattes in here just don't really do what I want them to do. They sort of just fluff away. So I'm going to invest in a really, really sticky primer and try these out and see if they work a little bit better. Next is the Rebel eyeshadow palette. I love the color scheme of this one. I do not get to use it that much though because I have a lot of stuff in my collection and it just gets lost. But hopefully, you know, this month and the following month, decluttering a bunch of palettes, I will be able to get a lot more use out of it. Then I have the Fantasy palette, which is a matte rainbow palette. These sort of fluff away as well, and I'm just, you know, I want to try them out with a sticky primer and hope that they work a little bit better. I then have Berries 2 and Berries. Berries was one of the first eyeshadow palettes that I bought other than the Nude 2 from BYS, which I have since gotten rid of because I just don't use it. This palette is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best drugstore palettes I've ever used in my life. It's beautiful. The Berries 2 isn't the best quality. It's not the same quality. It is still an amazing palette. As you can see from the peach palettes, they looked quite similar. From the berry palettes, they don't really look that similar, to be honest. I prefer the original berries, but if you want more cool tones and more pinky tones rather than berry tones, this is the one for you. So if you would ask me which one do I prefer, definitely the original berries, but they're both good palettes. I then have the Nude 4. The packaging on this is beautiful. Oh, okay, that's nice. So that is a thing. We'll just push him back down. Is he just gonna fall out if I tip it upside down? Oh my god, yes he is. Okay. So I was gonna say that I don't really like this palette because the shades fluff away to nothing. And now the shades are falling out. That is the first time I've ever had that happen with the BYS palette, and I have a lot of them. So this palette isn't my favorite, to be honest. Yeah, and now the shades are falling out. So I have the Cosmic palette. This is beautiful. It's all shimmers, so you do need to like shimmers. It is a bit of a chunky formula, but they're absolutely stunning. I have eyeshadow all underneath my nails. I don't use this one too much because it is an all shimmer eyeshadow palette, so like I just have to force myself to use it. But it's really good quality. And the last one is the matte palette. I don't use this one that much, but it is an all matte palette. It's really good for transitions, and if you are looking for a beginner's matte palette that's super, super neutral, you just want to contour your eyes and, you know, not really look like you're wearing anything, I definitely recommend this palette because it is a really good palette for beginners. And if you want to see any tutorials with these, obviously her following is like a lot bigger than mine, but Cindy Lou Bindi, I think her name is, here on YouTube, she has about 3K or 4K, but she does videos with literally every BYS palette that you could possibly think of, and they're really in-depth, and I absolutely love her channel. So if you want to see tutorials with any of these, go check her channel out. I'll link it down below, because yeah, I don't really do full-on tutorials with these palettes, but I can do that as well if you want me to. I can do a berries tutorial. I would actually really, really enjoy that. So yes, I think that is it. So I'm gonna count how many palettes I've decluttered and come back and show you guys. So these are all the palettes that I decluttered in this box here. There are 27 palettes that I decluttered. I didn't count how many palettes I have, but it is definitely a huge chunk out of my collection gone. So yeah, I'm excited to move on to new things. I will just show you the size of this box. 27 eyeshadow palettes decluttered from my collection. I'm happy to move on to new things, buy some more palettes. You know, I'd rather have a couple palettes from this collection that are better, like the Prism palette. You know, I might buy the Modern Renaissance because I don't have that one, and have a couple palettes rather than 27 palettes that are just taking up all the room in my collection. So that is a big box. Big. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you want to see more declutters like this one, leave a comment down below. That was a long video for me to film. It has me inspired to pull out all my eyeshadow and get some use out of them. I will do a highlighter declutter if that's something you guys want to see, or a foundation declutter as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!